Become Terry. He's not in it. Right? Okay. We are now ready to start the Ways and Means Committee meeting, and today is October 27, 2025. And before we begin, we need a motion in a second to bring Marcia McCannon in on teleconference. Daniel Kelch and Sharon. Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and start with, oh, that's right. And may I get a vote on, let's vote. Okay. All right. Thank you. Welcome, Marcia. Okay. And now moving on to our information. No, I'm sorry. Approval of minutes. I need a motion and a second for that. Matt Windish and Miss Sharon. Are there any questions, comments? Okay, vote. Okay. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Vote was unanimous. Moving on to our informational items, and I'm going to change up a little bit here, and I'm going to ask if County Election Commission would go first. Yes. Yep. Is it on?
Filing started today for established parties. 8 a.m. We had a small group, and hopefully they continue to trickle in throughout the week. It will go through next Monday at 5 p.m. No one filed for the same office at 8 a.m., so there's no need for a lottery to see who will have that first on the ballot slot. But we also do that for last place on the ballot for whoever files between the 4 and 5 o'clock hour on the last day. So we'll see if we have anyone that falls within that lottery as well. The time for reviewing the petitions and filing a challenge is 5 weeks after the last day to file is the deadline for that. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, we are just busy office today.
Okay. Yeah. Now we did. Are there any questions or comments? There was one question that I did pose in regards to independent candidates. Would you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So you asked this morning if a voter can sign a petition for an independent candidate if they have signed a petition for an established party candidate. And the answer is yes, they can. They can sign for an independent or a new political party. They just can't sign multiple independent candidates that are running for the same contest.
For the same. Okay. And that's within the same year.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
Right. So the established political party petitions are, being circulated and filing now. The independent, that happens in the summer. They have different filing deadlines.
Yes.
And so if someone was to run as an independent, they could sign that petition as well if they had signed an established party petition now. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yes. And then one other question I do have. At the close of returning in petitions, which is, what is it, November
Next
3rd, Monday,
Yeah, next
at
Monday.
5 o'clock. Are you all strict about that 5 o'clock hour?
Very strict. The door will lock.
Okay, good to know.
And I forgot to mention that we will update the list of everyone that has filed on a daily basis. You
Oh,
can go to our
wonderful.
website, peoriaelections.gov. We'll put that up a little bit after 5 every night through filing.
Wonderful. Good to know. Good to know. Are there any other questions? Comments? Well, thank you.
Of course. I'm sorry, did you have any questions on the budget process? I'm sorry, I have to leave
Oh,
and take my
that is
son to the
right.
doctor.
No, I do not. Is there anyone? We do not.
Okay.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
We will.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
allowing
letting
me
me
to
know
go
you
first.
had an appointment.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. At this time, let us hear from our county clerk, Rachel Parker.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You all have the sheet that was sent out in your packet, and I, at this time, don't have any additional information to add to it. So if there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to take them.
Any questions or comments for Ms. Parker? There are none. And you mentioned you have some information for us.
A few meetings ago, I had just mentioned that I was doing what I was calling at the time conversation and cupcakes with the clerk, where I was going out to the various small communities, just telling them about our office and what we do. We kind of expanded on that, and it's going to be called Going Mobile. So you've probably seen it maybe posted on Facebook, where our office is actually going to be mobile to some places. For example, our first stop is going to be November the 10th at Elmwood. The public library will be there for 4 hours. If people in that area want to come and get copies of their birth record or death record or a copy of their marriage license, we'll be able to print it on site. And so we're going to be going to different places each month. So just trying to take our office out on the road and being more accessible to people, maybe older people that can't get out or can't get downtown. And with all the construction right now, it's, probably a good time to do it.
Yes.
To help people that can't get down here. So that's the intent.
Okay. Will this Going Mobile plan, will it be posted in each of the communities at a certain place?
Yes,
Okay.
they're really excited. Elmwood was so excited that we're
Wonderful.
coming out there, and they put it on their Facebook page. They put it in, I think, if they have a local paper of some sort.
Good.
Brooke had been making all the arrangements at the different stops, and each one of them said that they were happy that we're doing it. They would help promote it. And it's also, since we're talking about budgets, another revenue stream, for people that maybe normally wouldn't say, hey, I need a copy of my birth record because they know we're in town. They might say, I'm just going to go get it because they're here. So that could potentially generate more revenue.
Okay. I'm hitting this. Sorry about that, you all. One other question I do have. When you talk about the mobile, is it an actual truck? A mobile?
Nope, just my car.
Okay.
Just my car, me, the laptop, and the printer.
Wonderful. Okay.
But no, we'll just be taking our equipment out. And I want to thank IT for working with me to get everything on the laptop so that we have that accessibility to the programs that we need in order to print those documents.
Yeah. Well, good, good. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Thank you. Okay. Okay. Moving on to our supervisor of assessment, Mr. Jones, Chad Jones. Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Supervisor Assessment Office. We this time of year, we move kind of from the supervisor part of the process, which was we filed a tentative abstract with the state. They typically come back with some questions, so back and forth with the state a little bit on that, and then ultimately they approve it, which they have, and then so we've kind of gotten over that hurdle, and that leads into the board of review. The board of review has started. We had approximately 500 appeals this year, which is about the same as last year. And hearings started actually last week. We did phone hearings with board review last week, and then in-person hearings will kind of begin this week. And the board review hearing season typically goes through January. We're hoping to we always want to try to get it done in December, but it typically leaks into January a little bit. So that's where that's at. I'm happy to
Okay.
answer any questions.
Any
Anybody has any?
questions? When you spoke of the 500 reviews, is that within that time frame to December that you
Yeah.
consider those 500?
Yeah, we we have to set a schedule, and that's a fairly big job. But a couple of the folks in my office have been working on that, and we've got the schedule pretty much done.
Mhm.
Every once in a while, you'll get into somebody that can't make a hearing or something, so we try to work with them as best we can. But yeah, the schedule's pretty well set,
Good.
and we're going to start holding the hearings.
Yeah,
We're
right
always-
away. Good to know. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Okay, I see none. Thank you very much. Okay, and moving on to our treasurer, Brendan. There you are, Brendan Martin.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We have started, today's our last day for the tax buyers that want to purchase the properties in the tax sale, which is November 10th. We were down, initially I mailed out about 6,300 letters for people that were delinquent, past due. I would say we're close to 4,000, 4,200, so we've collected a little bit. We've still got a little ways to go. Usually we sale about 2,500-ish properties at the tax sale here in this room on November 10th.
Mhm.
So I've got a deadline tonight at 5 o'clock to get all of the list out to the tax buyers so they can start to generate what they want to bid on.
Okay,
Everything else is moving along. So,
moving along.
yep.
It serves as a notice for them, or a reminder, I should say, to that the tax sale will be going on, or
say that one more time.
will that serve as a reminder when you send out those notices?
Well, the notices, I mean, they know, they expect them
already
on
know.
certain dates. Yep. So they get them this far, and then they'll get them next week, and then they'll get them the Saturday before the tax sale after we finalize everything. That way they can put their final bids on the USB
Sure.
drive. So when they come
There
in
you
here,
go.
they can just stick them in the system and go.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
any
Any
questions?
other questions or comments? There are none. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We all now have our Veterans Assistance Commission, Mike Brooks.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
I sent it out before I came here, but I'll
Yes,
just
thank
read it
you.
real quick. We brought in 117.3 million total money for veterans. We're probably going to end up about 140, which is about 25 million more than last year. We're at 19 million new money, which is lump sum payment to veterans, such as if they get like a $25,000 back pay. That's what includes in this one. Last year we ended at 20 million, so we're going to blow that out of the water. We have 543 walk-ins for the month of September, which equals 4,333 veterans or dependents that have walked through our door in 2025. 9,784 phone or office appointments in 2025. I added that because we really didn't count phone appointments before, as in COVID, it really increased as we had to do phone appointments. So usually in-office appointments is for something complicated or their first time coming to our office so we can explain everything in person. We like to. And then after that, we can do mostly phone appointments.
That makes sense.
As you know, Goodwill awarded Assistant Superintendent Tricia Collins the Patty Fuchs Citizen Patriot Award, which is for a non-veteran. It was amazing in Goodwill. So we did that, and then I had also told you that William Stodger, our Veteran Service Officer, won Veteran Service Officer of the Year in the state of Illinois. The one thing I didn't put in there was we have Dan Smith retiring, one of our Veteran Service Officers. As much as we tried to convince him, he wants to retire and do the honeydew list.
Oh, yeah.
But I just want to kind of, it's a big loss. I just wanted to give you an idea of what we're losing.
Thank you.
He's a Gulf War veteran that spent 8 years in the Marine Corps as a special operations team leader and has been accredited for 5 years. I say that if he's watching now, he's going to get mad. He's basically equivalent to a Navy SEAL, and he hates Navy SEALs. So he was a
sure.
special operations.
Sorely
team
missed.
leader. He also has a master's degree in clinical social work and used to work at the Veterans Administration as a counselor. So he had both the counseling and then the veteran mind. And his help has been tremendous.
Mm,
So much I hired him twice. So that is all I have though.
yeah. So you're in the process of replacing him? Or?
We're not exactly sure. We're probably, you don't quote me on this, but wait till 2026 and just figure out what position. Usually the way our office does it is we hire you as the front desk and then you work your way up to veteran service officer. So you know every single job by the time you
Sure.
get there. So we're trying to figure that out, and but we're probably just going to go ahead and wait till 2026 to go ahead and hire that.
And go from there. Yeah,
With the
sounds
holidays
good.
coming, it's going to be. We've already reassigned all his cases.
Mm,
So we started this. He was. I'm very thankful he gave us like 6 months in advance.
great.
So,
Yes,
and
yes.
luckily or unluckily, we had Mike Rowe that passed away last year. So I was ready how to approach this process.
Okay,
So we're ready to go.
good to know. Good to know.
First of all, I want to thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Do you foresee any challenges with the government shutdown? I've kind of read a couple articles that there could be as many as 1 million veterans affected, food insecure. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I actually got asked that while I was on vacation, but we are not seeing a huge. First of all, they're not going to lose their VA benefits. That's an outright lie. They're not going to lose their VA payments. For the VA, probably about 80% work from home, anyways, because of COVID. So we're seeing hit or miss if they're in the office or at home. It doesn't really matter for us if we have to talk to them. But we have not seen an impact really at all. I have seen there are certain positions lower tier that aren't answering their emails, so that is making it a little more complicated. I can only speak on I call 328, but that's the Chicago regional office. If you have a question about an error, those people are not replying to our email. So that is probably the one place I've seen that they're not replying to our emails, probably because they've been laid off or whatnot. But otherwise, healthcare is still full go. I have not seen very little impact, to be honest with you.
Great.
Good question. Thank you. Yep, so far. Right.
Yes, yes. Appreciate that. That's very good. Good question. Any other comments or questions? Okay, I
Thank
see
you.
none. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, moving on to our resolutions, and we do have one monthly delinquent tax resolution with 72 items on the monthly resolution list for October 2025. And I need a motion and a second to get that on the table. Oh, Daniel and Matt. Thank you. Okay. Any questions, comments?
I have a question.
Who said that? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at your way. Yes. All right. Hey, Marcia. Yes, your question.
So I just wanted to ask, like you said, there's 72 items on the list. Is that a direct relationship to the sale coming up next month and the fact that folks are hurried up and getting their stuff paid up?
Did she drop? I didn't hear the question.
So that's probably a question for either the clerk or the treasurer. In terms of, are we seeing an influx of folks that are currently delinquent, trying to clear up their delinquencies before the tax sale occurs? Is that
Or
pretty
people
close,
coming
Marcia?
in- Yeah, or because it seems like there's a lot of them that are sales.
Yeah, the sales,
So,
sure.
yeah, so I just wondered if, a lot of people finalized sales, just a question. I didn't know if there was any
Because of-
relationship between the two things happening.
Okay, Miss Rachel's going to respond to that.
And I can't respond exactly to it, but what I do want to say is that list comes from the trustee's office. So we could, verify that with the trustee's office to see if that's their thought. But it would make sense for people to try to get it taken care of before the sale.
The
I
sale,
would think.
yes. Did you hear that, Marcia?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, and if I see none, let's vote. Okay, the vote is unanimous. Thank you. Okay. All right, moving on to, we do have a committee action for our budget for the Ways and Means Committee. And we will discuss the items as a whole, but I do need a motion in a second. Daniel and Sharon, thank you. And are there any, first of all, any questions or comments?
So
Okay.
Heather will have a presentation to run through.
Okay.
Megan, you want to change the screen, please?
Thank you. We switched out batteries, so I'm going to see if this works. All right.
It worked.
I don't have to bother administrators to route anymore. Okay. This presentation is on the budget specific to the departments and funds that roll up under the Ways and Means Committee. But we're starting each meeting off with an overall slide of the budget, recommended budget for fiscal 26. For budget revenues in the general fund, we are recommending $64.2 million in revenues, about 1.2 million of those being from fund balance reserves, and then 64.2 million in expenditures in the general fund. And then for all funds, 172.5 million in revenues, including which includes about $18 million in fund balance reserve planned spend use, and $172.5 million in expenditures. For the Ways and Means Committee specifically, the revenues are $5,670,867, with expenditures at $4,822,111. Just to put it into perspective, that is 3.68% of the overall revenues for the budget and 2.79% expenditures for the overall budget. This is a look at the historical revenues and expenditures. You can see for fiscal 24 was at the height of the revenues, but fiscal 26 is not that far below in projections. And then expenditures, you can see the various color coding for personnel, interfund department charges, commodities, contractuals, etc., and how they have changed over time. For sources, an overview of the sources. Overall, the sources are increasing about $500,000 or about 10%. Some highlights there are the supervisor of assessments has a proposed contract with Limestone Township. So expenses will be offsetting that, but that's a change in revenue for the supervisor of assessment office. The election commission has a slight increase for reimbursement of election judges. For the Veterans Assistance Commission, property tax revenue is recommended to increase, but PPRT will be decreasing about half of that. Slight increase in interest in some areas. And then I wanted to talk about the board had supported a fee study to be conducted in 2025. We're supposed to do that by statute every several years. It's been quite some time since we have done one. Some of them date back to 2014, but most are pre-COVID. So we contracted with Bellwether Advantage to do to consult with us and work directly with each department that was included in the fee study. For this committee, it was the county clerk's office, The four other departments were the sheriff's office, the coroner's office, Peoria County Animal Protection Services, and um, oh, I'm blanking. Yes, the health department. Thank you. And those two are kind of tied together, so I should remember that. The fee study was completed, and we reviewed the results of the fee study for all of the 5 departments that were reviewed. All fees, with the exception of 2, were recommended to increase. As you can imagine, salaries, expenses, all of the things, all costs associated with offering these fees have increased significantly over the past 10 or 5 years, depending on the case. So, by statute, we are allowed to charge the cost of the service. And so we have a proposal, will actually be at the Finance Committee, the Joint Finance and Executive Committee tomorrow on the proposed fee increases, because all 5 of the departments are coming into one proposal. So that's why it's at that committee. But those revenues, the adjustments in the revenues, were included in the county clerk's recommended budget for fiscal 26. So those numbers are included in here. Some of the fees, understandably, were so outdated that they had pretty significant increases. And so we have recommended phasing some of those in over a period of 3 years. And so that will also be in the proposal at tomorrow's committee meeting to make it not as impactful on the individuals that are paying those fees. For uses in departments in the Ways and Means Committee, the uses increased overall $300,000. There was a shift in a line item that used to be paid out of the general county line item for security transportation services related to banking. That is now shifted to the treasurer's office. So it's not an overall increase in the budget, but it does make the treasurer's expenses higher in the budget. So I just wanted to point that out. It's not a new expense. It's just new to their budget. And then the election commission's increases are about $140,000, and that's due to the type of election that we have, the elections that we have in next year's cycle. And then there's an increase in of the $80,000 overall in the Veterans Assistance Commission, and that is for mainly for salaries. Finally, we're at the staffing and personnel. So the Ways and Means Committee has a recommended 1.79 FTE increase. 1 FTE at the Veterans Assistance Commission for a second receptionist position, and then 0.79 FTE in the Supervisor of Assessments office. 0.5 of that is for that contract that I mentioned earlier that will be paid. The payment will be covered by Limestone Township if the board approves that contract. And then the other 0.29 for that office is taking an existing temporary employee that was in their budget last year or this year, fiscal 25, working in like 3 different fiscal years here, and converting that to a permanent part-time position instead of using it just the temporary staff for that. So that is the high-level information for that for your committee. If you have specific questions, I am happy to attempt to answer them for you. Thank you.
Does anyone have any specific questions? Questions in regards to the Ways and Means budget? I do not see any. Okay. That means we can vote. Okay, let's prepare ourselves to vote. Okay. Okay, that's good. The vote is unanimous. Thank you. All right. All right, let's move on. Are there any discussions? Um, I see none. Miscellaneous? Right, I do have some. Okay, any public comments? I see none. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.